Alright, so for example 15, it's very, very similar to example 14, except instead of doing a pocket, we're actually doing a boss. So we're actually going to walk around the outside of this geometry. So if you've done example 14, we can go ahead and use a lot of that program without having to change much. So let's go ahead and look at our program here. So it's example 14. I'm going to go ahead and save it and make it example 15 now. So with our geometry last time, we started at this point and we walked around the inside and then came back to here. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to plunge out into space here and walk our tool up to that same point, except now we're going the other way. And we're going to end at the same point and walk off. That way we completely surround our geometry and remove all the material around it. So if we click on our data block, this start point is actually where we want to end our first segment. So what we want to do is go to next segment, and we want to insert a segment before, and we're going to make it a line, and we're going to make sure that 0.5 or 0.5 by 1.5 is the same. So that segment 1 is now going to be right here. And now we need to change our segment 0, so we start out here in space. So let's go back to segment 0. And we want to keep the same x value. And we want to change our y value to negative half of our diameter, so negative 0.375. And we'll actually go a little bit further than that. We'll go negative 0.45. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to change our milling type. So we need to change this from pocket boundary to left. That way we walk around our geometry. So for our segment 1, we're good. Remember, we just changed that. So we started here. Now we're going up to this point. Now we're going to walk around this radius. And so we need to change our radius from clockwise to counterclockwise. So let's change this to clockwise. Let's go to our next segment. This is this line here, and we're going to leave all the information the same. Remember how we auto-calculated it last time? So we don't know any of the information, so we'll keep going. So this is the larger arc, and all we got to do is change this to counterclockwise, or to clockwise from counterclockwise. Go to our next segment. This is the bottom line, and we'll leave this all the same. Our next segment, so this is the end of our geometry here at this point. It's this little arc here. So all we need to do is change our arc to clockwise, and then we need to finish up by having our cutter move off of the part. That way we are clear of our geometry here. So we'll move to a positive value larger than our stock. So we'll finish up next segment line at the same 0.5, and now we're going to go 3.45. Let's go ahead and draw it and see what we get. So you can see we plunged here, we walked around, and then we finished up here. However, we have all this excess stock. So we'll go ahead and go back to our segment 0, and we'll change our milling type from left to profile left. So now we've changed it to profile left, we'll go ahead and change our max offset to 1.5, and then we will change our pocket overlap to 20%. That will allow us less step over. So let's draw it, see what we get. So you can see it walks around all the way around the outside of the part. We go to isometric. We can see that it runs all the way around the outside of the part. And that should be it. Go ahead and save our program. And that's it.